Why grow 20% or 30% or even 10% is bad advice for med spa owners, and what to do instead. Many med spa business consultants are obsessed with goal setting. They make it sound like success comes from choosing a number, assigning a percentage, and forcing the team to reach that specific target. On paper, it looks professional. In reality, it often creates something else. It creates stress, disappointment, and forced execution without real structure. The biggest problem is not having goals. It is the type of goal that get set, especially those clean numbers like 10% or 15% or 20% growth. These targets are usually presented as practical and measurable, but most of the time they are not based on reality. They are not based on capacity, limitation, or real market conditions. They simply looks good, sounds motivating, and feels like a strategy. So the med spa owner either set this goal, them, or accept those goals. But here is the big question. Why 20%? Why not 22.6%? Why not 18.35%? If business growth were as predictable as this advisor suggests, then growth target would not come in round number like 10% or 20%. They would come from real forecasting, real capacity analysis, team productivity assessment, conversion data, client retention cycle, and actual market demand. Yet, most goal setting advice don't do any of that. It gives owners a motivational target that feels disciplined and looks strategic, but in practice becomes an unnecessary burden. A med spa doesn't grow because the owner wrote 20% on a board. It grows when the business develop the capacity to grow. Growth is not a wish, and growth is not a decision. Growth is the end result of system that consistently creates higher performance, and those systems are limited by two realities: the capacity of the market and the capacity of the clinic itself. This is the part most consultants overlook. The truth is that every clinic has operational capacity, market capacity, and leadership capacity. Your location, your reputation, price point, service mix, staffing model, physical space, scheduling efficiency, and consultation process, retention system, and leadership capacity all impose real limitation on how much the business can grow. Some clinics can grow 30% without extra stress because they have operational room and a strong team culture and high conversion. Other clinics cannot even grow 10% without collapsing into chaos because the business is already fragile and the owner is already overloaded. So, when a consultant says, set a goal to grow 20%, it ignores a critical question. Can your business handle that growth? If your clinic can actually grow 30%, then why stop at 20%? But if the real capacity of your clinic is 10% because of a staffing system or leadership, then 20% becomes a guaranteed source of anxiety. It turns the year into a constant psychological pressure loop, trying harder, pushing more, rushing decisions, and then feeling like something is wrong with you because you didn't hit that target. This is why owners feel stuck even when they are working harder every year. They think they are failing in growth, when the truth is that they are trying to grow faster than their infrastructure allows. And that is exactly how clinics become busy but broke. The calendar fills up, the team burn out, the owners become reactive, costs rise, cash flow becomes unstable, and profit never match the effort you are putting into your business. So the smarter approach is to stop treating growth like a percentage and start treating it like a natural outcome of the system you build. Instead of saying we must increase revenue by 20%, the better question is what system must exist so the growth becomes inevitable and sustainable. In other words, don't chase growth, build the machine that grows. A perfect example is retail sales. Many med spa consultants suggest setting a goal like increase retail by 20% in 2 months. The first problem is obvious. Where did that 20% number came from? If someone claims 20% is achievable, they should be able to explain the math behind it. What is the current baseline? Why is retail sales currently at the specific level that it is right now? How many clients actually receives product recommendation? How many clients trust those recommendations? How consistent is the staff? How strong is training? How effective is follow-up? And how optimized are products and inventory? Without these answers, a 20% target is not a strategy, it's just a random expectation and a wish. The bigger issue is that retail growth is not a number problem, it's a behavior and a system problem. If you want retail to increase, you don't need a percentage on the board, you need a protocol that produce consistent behavior in every treatment room, every time. The goal should not be a percentage. The goal should be a standard and a system that makes that standard unavoidable. For example, instead of pushing 20% retail growth, you install a team expectation that every provider present at least 3 products related to the service the client just received. You train the staff on how to recommend without being pushy. You teach framing such as, here is what we did today, and here is what you need at home to protect the result of what we did. You make it routine, you can track it, you coach it, you repeat it until it becomes the culture of your business. And if retail sales have been flat for a long time, that usually means that knowledge and confidence and retail culture do not exist inside the company, and sometimes not even inside the owner's mindset. In that case, you don't set bigger goals. You bring in the right expert and train the team until the skills become part of the company's and the clinic's culture. At that point, retail's growth becomes a byproduct. If retail increased by 1%, it is still a win, because it means the system is working and is now operational. And if it increased by 50%, is not a surprise. It's what's happened when you apply a consistent method over and over. The key is that this type of growth is stable. It doesn't require constant pressure. It doesn't collapse when the owner gets tired. It doesn't depend on motivation. I emphasize the motivation. It depends on a structure, system, and SOP, or standard operating procedures. This shows another weakness of goal obsession. Often the only way to hit those random percentage target is by doing the work that should have been done anyway. Better training, stronger leadership, clearer roles, consistent accountability, improved conversion and retention system, and also a smarter planning. But what if those actions are the real drivers of growth? Why are they treated like tools to chase numbers? Why weren't they installed before? This is where many med spa owners feel a hidden frustration. They sense that the numbers are not guiding the business. They are pressuring the business. They feel as if they are being told to manufacture growth instead of building strength. And when stress rises, decision-making quality drops. Owners start reacting emotionally, discounting to push demand, hiring too quickly, spending money without a plan, tolerating toxic staff because we can lose people right now, or taking low-quality clients because we need to hit the target. This is the exact opposite of premium, stable growth. It creates chaos. In owner-led clinics, more clinics, especially med spa, this becomes even more dangerous because the owner's internal condition saves the whole business. When the owner is stressed, the business becomes reactive. When the owner is anxious, the team feels it. When the owner is chasing a number, decisions become short-term. It's not because the owner is weak, it's because stress hijacked leadership. This is why growth does not begin in a spreadsheet or by chasing number. It begins in internal operating system of the business owner, like how decisions are made under pressure, how boundaries are held, and how standards are enforced. So instead of writing grow 20%, the better goal is to create a healthier environment that allows growth to happen naturally, not because you force it, but because the business finally became capable of it. That means installing systems and protocols that reduce leakage and stabilize daily execution. It means building a clinic that convert consistently, retain client consistently, and run consistently even when the owner is not in the building. When you do that, growth becomes the natural outcome of a strong system and a strong culture. The clinic grows to the degree that it can handle. It means the capacity of the market without destroying itself internally. This is the type of growth that increase valuation, increase owner freedom, and increase team stability and reduce burnout.